begin with breaking news. A second night of unrest in Philadelphia following the death of Walter Wallace Jr. Well, peaceful demonstrations later turned into chaos across the city. Well, the time is now 6:32, and we want to get back to that developing story. A second night of unrest in Philadelphia over the police shooting of Walter Wallace Jr. Protesters took to the streets in West Philadelphia last night, and at the other end of the city, well, things look like this. This is from Action News at 10 here on PHL 17. Police say about 1,000 looters hit Walmart, Foot Locker, Burlington Coat Factory, and Family Dollar in Port Richmond. Well, we begin this morning with some breaking news. Pennsylvania's Attorney General says 2 men are facing charges after authorities found a van full of explosives in Logan Square. Now, authorities say Ben LaRue and Eric Murray are charged with possession of weapons of mass destruction, conspiracy, and risking a catastrophe. Now, Philadelphia police found those illegal explosives on Wednesday night. They also recovered half sticks of dynamite, a handheld propane torch, a taser, and other various tools. Authorities say those are the same tools that are used to dismantle ATMs.
6:06 now, and developing news is residents in Bucks County. They're cleaning up this morning after at least 2 tornadoes touched down in the county. 5 people have been hurt after severe weather hit that area. Right now, though, you're looking at photos from Ben Salem. Look at that. You can see just how strong those winds were, flipping cars, destroying homes, knocking down trees.
In Trevose, Bucks County, a car dealership is destroyed. You can see it there on your screen. Severe weather flipping and damaging vehicles on the lot and uprooting trees nearby. The roof of this building is no more after an apparent tornado ripped it off while people were inside taking cover.
Tropical storm Elsa is barreling its way north along the East Coast. At least 1 person is dead and several others are hurt as the storm slammed Florida. Right now, states like Georgia and the Carolinas are getting torrential rain and some strong winds. This is video from Savannah, Georgia last night as the tropical storm made its way through the Peach State. Parts of Delaware and New Jersey are under a tropical storm warning.
Now back to that breaking news Jenna mentioned. We are following right now out of South Philadelphia. A woman is now dead after a driver hit her with a car and then drove off.
And she sadly wasn't the only person hit in this early morning incident. According to police, a car rear-ended a motorcycle at Broad and Lombard Streets around 2 this morning. 2 passengers were on that bike but are expected to be okay. Police say moments later, the same car jumped the curb at 15th and South Streets and hit a woman as she was walking with a coworker. Now, moments later, investigators say that same driver turned around and ran over that woman again. She was rushed to the hospital, but she later died. Police say the driver ditched his car at Broad and South Street. They are now looking for that driver. They say they do know who that person is, but have not released his name yet. As we have updates on this story, we of course will bring them right to you.
And we've now got more breaking news out of Collegeville, Montgomery County to tell you about. That is where officials tell us that someone has been airlifted to the hospital after they were struck by a car near 3rd and Main Streets. Now, there are initial reports that this may actually be related to the early morning incidents in South Philly that we just told you about. We are waiting to hear back from police if this is indeed the same driver that may have sped off from the South Philadelphia area and then entered Montgomery County. Again, you're looking at Main Street in Collegeville, where police say they airlifted someone to a local hospital after they were struck by a car. Our Kyrie Stewart is on the way to this scene. As we get more information, we're going to bring it right to you.
And in King Sassing, a 23-year-old man is dead after someone shot him in the face inside of a home in the 5600 block of Warrington Avenue. It happened just after 1 o'clock this morning, and police say a 24-year-old was also inside of that home, and he is their prime suspect. Investigators say he's cooperating with police.
All right, Jenna, thank you so much. Topping this hour, rescue crews racing against the clock to find survivors after this 12-story condo building in Florida collapsed. Officials say at least 1 person is confirmed dead, 99 people still missing. More than 100 others have been accounted for. And according to officials, it happened early yesterday morning right outside of Miami in Surfside. Officials say it could take a very long time to determine the cause of this collapse.
Developing this morning, one man is dead and another is injured after a crane collapse in University City. It happened around 8:30 last night along Constitution Avenue. You saw this video last night during Action News at 10 here on PHL 17. Police say a worker was killed after a crane somehow toppled over. The operator of that crane was also taken to the hospital for injuries. Investigators are looking into what led to this tragedy.
Breaking news out of Mexico now. Within the last half hour, PHL 17 has now learned that 23 people are now confirmed dead and at least 70 are hurt after an overpass in Mexico City collapsed. Officials say it happened last night after a support beam gave way, and you can see a train also broke in half because of that collapse. Rescuers now searching through the rubble after this collapse. Cars trapped underneath. As more information becomes available throughout the morning, we're going to bring it to you.
We begin the show with some breaking news now from overseas. Japan is implementing a state of emergency because of the coronavirus pandemic, and the state of emergency will last until the end of August, and that means it will be in place during the Summer Olympics. Officials plan to put the state of emergency in place starting next Monday. They're afraid the ongoing surge of cases in the country will multiply during the games. The 6 weeks of the state of emergency means there will likely be no audience in the stand during the Olympic Games.
Breaking news, the FDA authorized COVID-19 booster shots for people with weaker immune systems. This means certain people can get an extra dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. The agency made the move to shield vulnerable people from the Delta variant. The FDA says people who are fully vaccinated are adequately protected and currently do not need an extra dose. People with organ transplants, certain cancers, or other disorders will be allowed to get one. All right, we are switching now to some breaking news happening right now. Take a look at this. 4 astronauts live, as you see there, heading off from Cape Canaveral, Florida, into space. This is a live look at the launch. NASA and SpaceX are launching the astronauts on a recycled rocket, and they're now heading to the International Space Station. This is the first time astronauts will fly in a reused SpaceX vehicle.